If you're thinking of signing up for Barchart Premier, you need to watch this review first. On the surface, it looks like the professional grade platform that you need to become much more profitable, and it might be, but after thoroughly testing it myself, I found a few things that you should be aware of and a few hidden gems that can boost your edge. But, balance that with the flaws that you'll want to know before signing up. It's up to you. So, before we get into any of the details, let's actually be perfectly clear about one thing. Who is Barchart Premier actually built for? Well, the truth is, Barchart Premier isn't for the casual investor who checks their portfolio once a week or just checks it every once in a while. This platform has one target user in mind, and that is the serious, active trader or investor who lives and breathes data and wants to know everything up front day to day. It's for the person who needs more than just pretty charts. Think about the options trader hunting for unusual activity in the depths of the market, the swing trader running complex screens for the next big move, or the investor who demands deep fundamental and options data that free sites just don't provide. They've built their entire Premier service around the data-hungry user. We're talking advanced screeners that you can't find anywhere else. You talking about exclusive trading signals, some downloadable historic data. Like this is all for the trader who has a specific data-driven edge and needs a platform robust enough to support it. So, does this actually have all of the features that I just mentioned? Well, when you look at what other Barchart Premier users are saying, the story becomes clearer and you can get a fuller picture of what people think about this program. So, take this one trader here, for example. He said he uses Barchart as a long term investor, as a swing trader, and as a day trader. So, he uses it for a bunch of different stuff. Like, he called the amount of data that he got incredible, and he said he always has it on his screen and uses it all the time. He also highlighted that it presents data in many useful ways for him, and that new users will actually really benefit from the educational material. There's also this Barchart Premier review from a user who was very direct. He said that the platform makes him nothing more than money, period. He stressed that you just have to learn everything they teach you, and he gave it a 10 out of 10. So yeah, very praiseful words from this guy here. Now, when you compare Barchart Premier to a giant like TradingView, the difference in their core purpose becomes obvious. TradingView is fantastic for its social features, beautiful charts, and community interaction. It's like a social network for traders. But for raw, unfiltered data and powerful screening tools, Barchart Premier often has the edge. I saw a revealing thread on Reddit that perfectly highlights this. So this user was asking if anyone actually pays for Barchart Premier, wondering if the paid content was that much better than the free version. And the replies were pretty telling. One user said that he uses Premier to look at option data and that it's improved his trading greatly. Another user said that he took the monthly and then switched to the yearly subscription. And he specifically loved the covered call ideas and their picks, saying that if you play it right, you can recover the whole yearly subscription cost in a single day. But don't go around betting on that. That is something that you have to practice and develop. That's just what this guy said. So yeah, I mean, all this really tells you everything. If you're a trader who values deep data, powerful screening, and finding trade ideas that others might miss, Barchart Premier is a standout choice. It's built for the trader who sees their research platform not just as a charting tool, but as a data mining powerhouse with all this extra information that you can use to shape your decisions. All right, so now that you know who Barchart Premier is for, let's get into the specific features that make it so powerful, and a few things that you need to be ready for and keep an eye out for. So, the first thing that really hooked me was their suite of advanced screeners. This is a huge positive. This is where Barchart Premier really earns its keep. So, let's start with their new Found On filters for their options screeners. This is a genius feature that saves so much time. Instead of starting at a screen from like complete scratch, you can tell it to only look at options for stocks that are already on Barchart's most popular pages. So you can screen for options on stocks that are performance leaders, have new trading signals, or have earnings coming up. Basically anything. Like it layers your analysis in a way that I haven't seen on other platforms. And speaking of a lot of options that you can choose from, the unusual options activity tool here is also a monster. But here's the hidden gem that most people miss. You can actually view historical unusual activity all the way back to mid 2020. So that is a huge amount of time to view day by day. So this isn't just about what's happening right now. Like you can go back and you can study what unusual activity looked like before a stock made a huge move. And that is a lot of detail and information for someone trading today. And that backtesting ability can really be like pure gold for developing a reliable long-term strategy. For my income traders, the covered calls screener is a real dream. It doesn't just find high yielding calls, it uses numerous filters to scan for those with a high theoretical return, like that'll help you find the best risk adjusted opportunities and the ones that have the highest chance of having a return for you. Another tool I found using constantly is the highest implied volatility options page. So say that 3 times fast. This page is crucial because generally you want to buy options when implied volatility is low and then sell them when implied volatility is high. So this page instantly show you which options are overvalued, perfect for considering spread strategies or selling premium or working it into other strategies. Now, one of Barchart's most unique features is something called flip charts. Now, this is seriously cool. So, let's say if you're running a screener and you have a list of 20 stocks, for example, instead of clicking each chart one by one, like flip charts lets you scroll through them all seamlessly, like flipping through a deck of cards, just flipping through them, right? You can apply your chart template to each one as you go. It makes analyzing a watch list incredibly fast and efficient. And for the big picture view, you need their exclusive market momentum index. This isn't just another random indicator, it's a proprietary index that tracks the health of the entire stock market, filtering for stocks with solid fundamentals. So it's a great gauge for overall market risk on or risk off sentiment. I found a bar chart review on a site that really summed up the experience. This user called it a fantastic service with a clean presentation of data. He said at around $200 a year, it's a steal compared to other services, given you get information on everything from crypto to stocks. He also praised the speed and the variety of filters in the screeners. So yeah, this aligns perfectly with my experience, although I'm not sure exactly how much it is per year now, since that does change over time. So around that though, the value for the depth of data you get for the entire year is really hard to beat. It's not the flashiest platform, but it is a workhorse. If your trading relies on finding edges through data, these bar chart premier features are a serious advantage. But of course, no platform is perfect, right? There are a few things that you should be aware of before you jump in. So, in my deep dive into Barchart and Barchart Premier reviews, I came across this user who was pretty frustrated. He said that the instructions weren't clear and that the platform kept asking him to join Premier to download intraday data, even though he was already on a trial. So that has to do with the trial period. Now, I can absolutely see how that would be confusing and annoying. No one wants to feel like they're being nagged for something, especially when they're just trying to learn a new system. In my own experience, this points to a broader point about Barchart Premier. It's a platform that is packed with incredible amounts of data and tools, and that sheer power can sometimes come with a slight learning curve. It's not always as immediately intuitive as some of its competitors, and it does try to get you to get Premier so that you start paying for the service. But the trial period, I think, is enough to get an idea for what it can do. It's just that a lot of the more complex tools are through its Premier. However, once you get all of your bearings and you start getting an idea for it, pass the trial, and then you learn where everything is and you start to use the tools and you integrate it with your strategy, the platform's logic itself starts to click and it becomes second nature. The core value isn't in the initial user experience with the trial. I think it's in the quality and the depth of the data that you get once you're all signed up and you're really in the program and you're up and running. For most serious users, the trade-off with maybe some difficulty in the beginning with signing up and the trial, that trade-off is more than worth it. And there might be other things that happen here and there in Barchart that I saw in the reviews, but they didn't really have enough people talking about them that was worth mentioning. So this was one of the things that I did have to mention, which is the slower beginning period, and then you have to learn how to use the program. And when it comes to cost, Barchart Premier is reasonably priced, especially considering how much data you're getting. I'd say it's affordable for active traders and people who think they're going to make back maybe a few $100s a year from using all of this data. But it could be a little pricey if you're a casual investor who just wants really basic info and to leave their money in a place and let it grow and doesn't need to spend some money trying to actively manage it. And the good news is they also offer discounts and promotions from time to time, which makes it even better value if you're looking to save some money. For the most current pricing and any active promotions or updates or anything, make sure to check the link in the description of this Barchart Premier review video. We try to keep that updated so that you always get the best deal. So, what is my final verdict in this Barchart Premier review? Well, if you're an active trader or a serious investor looking for fast, reliable, data-driven insights, Barchart Premier is a fantastic choice. It's not the flashiest tool, and it might have a slow start and a bit of a learning curve, but it is powerful, it's fast, and it is loaded with value. Check that link in the description to get started with our special discount and coupon.